What is up, everybody? Thank you for checking out a new episode of the BarbacoaCore Podcast. I am your host, Patrick C. Huerta. Thanks again for taking the time to listen to this episode, to this podcast. If you can, just another reminder, on whichever platform you use to listen to these podcasts, if you could go ahead and hit the subscribe button, that would help out the podcast. So whichever platform you use to listen to this, hit the subscribe button, and that will give you a notification every time a new episode is already posted or is uploaded. It would also help with the podcast visibility, to the public. Trying to help expand the audience for this podcast, and with your subscription, also with any type of like reviews or likes or shares, that all helps the podcast grow. And I'm asking for your assistance on that, for y'all to help me help with that, and I do appreciate that. So thank you for doing that. If you've already subscribed, thank you for doing that. And not if you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, also on YouTube. If you could subscribe on there as well. And then on iTunes, if you could do a 5-star review, that will also help boost the podcast up. Again, I'm just trying to expand the audience, but also I want to get connected with sponsors for this podcast as it grows. Try to get more people on board to help push, promote, not only myself, not only just for the podcast, but the guests that I have come on, help them get more listeners, more audience people, more followers on their things. On whatever they do, So yeah, because that's the point of the podcast, is to help push, promote, and support local artists. And then sometimes I just do solo episodes like I'm doing today. Today is going to be a solo episode. I just want to talk about some stuff. But yeah, let me do the shout outs. As always, shout out to CBDB. You can follow them on Instagram at mycbdb. Or you could go to the website, mycbdb.com. On the website, if you buy anything through the website, use promo code TXMC, and that will give you 15% off your purchase through the website. But follow them on Instagram, so you can find out where they're going to be set up at, because they're a pop-up shop. They set up at random events. So yeah, follow them on Instagram, so you'll stay in the know of what they're doing. CBDB is the Texas Hemp Botanical Alternative Boutique and pop-up shop for all your CBD needs. So follow them, or get your CBD products through the website at mycbd.com. Use promo code TXMC for 15% off. Also, shout out to Uglyhead lets us use the music for the intro and outro of this and every episode, so you could find out what they're doing. They have a new EP out, the Disembodied EP, that is available for digital download through their Bandcamp. And for that, you could go to www.uglyheadmusic.org or .com, and for all that information. Also, shout out to 10-4 Menudo y Mas. They are a pop-up shop for menudo, and then they do like pulled pork sandwiches and chicken sandwiches and stuff like that. So you can follow them on Instagram and Facebook to find out where they're going to be at, where they're going to be set up at, so you could go and check it out for yourself. Guaranteed you won't be disappointed. 10-4 Menudo y Mas. So yeah, that's it for the shout outs. Take a drink. And then also support the Facebook page that I have for the podcast, the BarbacoaCore Podcast Facebook page. I don't believe, because I like to repost a lot of things on there, like friends and guests of the podcast. I like to repost their stuff from Facebook onto that Facebook page. I don't know if the algorithms are allowing people to see it, because I know that Facebook they offer promotional things like $5 for promotion and all that stuff. So I don't know if they're allowing people to see all the stuff that I post with the BarbacoaCore Facebook page, but if you can like on there, like and follow on Facebook. Also, they do a review. They have a review section. So if you're so inclined to help us out that way, leave a review on the BarbacoaCore Facebook page. Um, or if you on Instagram, follow the Barbacoa Core page at Barbacoa Core Podcast on Instagram. And that was the same thing. I like to push and promote and repost anything that friends or our past guests of the podcast have going on, any shows or any events that they have coming up. I like to repost there just to help promote and support what they have going on. Just as a thank you for being part of the podcast, coming in and doing an episode. So yeah, and everything Barbacoa Core related you could find on through the website, uh, www.barbacoacore.com. That I will have links to any show tickets that I have coming up or any events that I'm a part of. I'll link it through that, and that will also give you links to all the platforms that I have the podcast located on. SoundCloud, Castbox, Google Play, my YouTube page, also my personal Facebook and Instagram, as well as the Facebook and Instagram for Barbacoa Core Podcast. Um, and right now, if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I had put up possible shirt ideas. I'm thinking about making shirts for the podcast that I would sell at my comedy shows or whatever, whatever event I'll be at. And so I put four different what ideas for shirts. I couldn't think of the words. I don't even think that's the right word. Four different options for T-shirts that I might press, um, and getting some people's opinion. So if you have an opinion, if you want to check that out, you can find that on my Instagram page or my Facebook page. If you want to put down, which one you would buy if you were to buy a Barbacoa Core Podcast T-shirt. So yeah, a lot of different opinions on that. So I might pick the top two and do a run of those. But yeah, you could look that up on my personal Facebook page or even my Instagram page, at Real PC Huerta, to put your opinion, put your vote, get your vote in for a possible Barbacoa Core Podcast shirt idea. Um, so yeah, the next event that I have coming up, I will be uh, conducting some interviews at it's the return of the to the Meadow Capital. Return to the Meadow Capital. That's going to be June 29th at 1 p.m. That's at UTSA Institute of Texan Cultures. Rob Chavez of Rob's Metalworks um, has included me on this event, and I'm very grateful for that. As y'all know, Rob Chavez has been a big influence on me, especially with this podcast. And it's great that he's allowing me to be a part of this event. What this event is? It's a celebration of the San Antonio's '80s music scene. Which is great. So they're gonna have a feature musician panel. They're gonna have live music by Bifist, and then Tex Pop will have a Texas metal memorabilia exhibit. So all these like show posters from back in the day, pictures of different concerts and shows of different bands from that time. Um, so yeah, it should be a good time. Again, that's June 29th at 1 p.m. I'll have the ticket information on my website, so you can get in on that. But yeah, I'll be out there conducting interviews, talking to people that are involved in the show, and just people who go to the show. Who want to get on and talk about their experience, maybe talk about their own personal memories from the '80s music scene in San Antonio, and hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm very honored to be included in this event. So thanks to Rob Chavez of Rob's Metalworks for allowing me to be a part of this. I'm very stoked to be a part of this event. So it should be a lot of fun. I'll be set up out there And again, I'm going to be talking to people who are on the panel, people involved in the actual show, and then just pick some people who come out to the show who want to talk about their experience and their if what they thought of the event, the whole event itself. So that should be fun. That's the only thing I have coming up so far. I think I might be a part of a show in June, but I haven't um, got the confirmation on that yet. But I'll announce that as soon as I know more details on that. Other than that, no comedy shows coming up. Um, I am. This is being recorded Sunday night, so I'll be posting this Monday morning. This should be up. But this past Saturday, we did a comedy showcase. I was part of a comedy showcase that they did at Las Chaladas, and that was a lot of fun. I had a great time. The crowd was great. We pretty much packed out the house. The crowd was great. The comics were great. There was 10 comedians doing their best 10 minutes, and the crowd had a lot of fun with that. It was co-hosted by Flor Hernandez Comedy, and then Ermelinda Reese of Mind Twist Comedy. And I gotta say, man, Irma is doing a lot of stuff for the comedy scene, and not just in San Antonio, but around Texas. So make sure you follow her on Instagram or on her website, mindtwistcomedy.com. She put the show together. She did an excellent job. I'm very thankful that she picked me to be part of the show as well. But it was a great show. Like I said, we had Flo Hernandez, Irma Reese, Israel Garcia, Andy Shields, Lacey Lansford, Bob Dell, Luke Malden, Cousin Berto, Duck Easy. Duck Easy killed it, man. He's a hilarious guy. I keep trying to get him on the podcast, and he says he's gonna come on. We're trying to set that up. I'd love to have him on and talk some shit with him. And then I was on there as well. I had a good time. I had a really good time. I had some friends and family come out to support the show, and they said they had fun. And then I got a chance to meet people at the end of the show. Just say thanks for coming out to the show and give them my card. Um, and I heard a lot of great responses. Great. A lot of people said they had a good time, that they really enjoyed my set, or the whole show in general. But I had got a lot of great compliments about my set, and even met some people that are working on like a kind of comedy competition show that they're putting together. They approached me about being a part of that, which is great. I'm very honored that they thought of me, or they enjoyed my set enough to approach me about that. Um, but yeah. I don't have a lot of details on that yet. I just gave my card and we talked a little bit there, but we'll get more details when I get the details. I'll give them out and stuff. I believe they run like a local comedy show here in town, and I think it's going to be set up like a competition type of thing. So that should be a lot of fun to be a part of. Um, but yeah, a lot of great stuff came out from that night. It was a fun night. I had initially thought of doing a podcast there at the show, and then have like comics come on like before, during, or after the show, and just talk about the night, how much fun they had, talk about the crowd, talk about, just sit down and talk about the night itself. Because I am thinking about doing a podcast within a podcast, where I go set up at like open mics, at various open mics around town, and then sit down with comics and just kind of like bullshit. If they have anything coming up, we'll promote it on there, or we'll just talk about the night, talk about what's going on there. And so it's still an idea I'm working with. I call that podcast "Sit Down, Dude." To where we'll talk to comics at the show, or we'll talk to comics at the open mic, just to see what's going on, catch up with them, and yeah, talk about the night, the bar, the open mic itself, or even maybe do it at shows, random shows that I'm a part of. It's just an idea that we are playing with. Uh, so yeah, but that show was a lot of fun. Thanks you to everybody that came out. And if you took one of my cards, yeah, I do have some new followers on Instagram and Facebook, which is a lot of fun. I'm glad that y'all enjoyed what we do or what we did. Um, and y'all's energy was really great. It was good. It was a good night. Um, and yeah, I think Irma had she recorded a lot of people's sets. Um, and so hopefully I'll get that soon, so I could cut it up and then put some footage either online or stuff like that, little clips here and there on Instagram. Um, just to give you an idea of what these shows are about. Try to get more people to come out to these shows whenever I do have them, because it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun up there, and the crowd has a lot of fun, and they responded pretty well last night or on Saturday. So it was a good time. So hopefully next time when I let you know about a comedy show, y'all come out and you see what it's all about for yourself, and you have a good time, because that's what it's all about. So yeah, and then tonight I just got back from the Blind Tiger Comedy Club. That one's at the it's in the basement of the Magic Time Machine, and so on Sundays they do a show called Off the Cuff. So what it is like it's an improvised set. So you get 3 minutes. They give you three different topics, and you just riff on that. And it's a great exercise for comics, just to think on their feet, try to come up, or try to be funny within that minute of a random topic that they're giving. Um, so it's fun. Like a lot of comics, they get signed up and then they get pulled randomly. They get random topics, and then at the end of the night, they do like a battle. Where two comics will get picked up, and then instead of getting a minute on a topic, they'll get 30 seconds each on a topic, and then the crowd will be that will determine who the winner of that thing is, and then they win like a candy bar or something. Lawrence, who usually hosts it on Tuesday at the LOL, he hosts there that the off the cuff at the Blind Tiger. So it's a lot of fun. It's mostly comics, but it'll be a lot of fun to have people go out to that show and just see comics do the random improvised sets of random topics, and see where the night goes from that. No guarantees, because again, it's just improvised. But a lot of people are funny, especially when they're up against the wall, when the lights bright up on their face, and they're just trying to make the funniest thing out of the topics that they were thrown. And it's a lot of fun. I had fun tonight. I think some of my topics. What were my topics? Eyeball juice, which was weird. Fat lips, and I can't think of the third one. But it was fun. Blind Tiger. I'm trying to get over there. Maybe do some shows. I know they had to do like the Friday night shows, and the midnight secret shows. And I know a lot of the comics that are in with that club. So maybe I'll try to get myself in there too, start being part of their shows that they have going on. Because I love that club. It's a great space. It's a small room. Like I said, it's in the basement of the Magic Time Machine, and I think there's like maybe 40, 50. I mean, maybe most is like 60 chairs in there. Um, so it's a small room, very intimate and stuff. But I've seen some great shows there. A lot of funny, not only just local comedians, but they have people come in from out of town, and they have like special secret guest drop-ins that come in. So you never really know who you're gonna see there, which is part of the fun of it. But yeah, a lot of funny comedians there that do shows that show up there and do their thing in this little small room. So it's a great vibe, great energy. So maybe I'll try to be a part of that in the near future. But for now, I like to go check out the off the cuff or be a part of the off the cuff that they do on Sundays. Uh, so yeah, that's what we did tonight, or that's what I did tonight. So I just came home late and I forgot to do a podcast this week because I was so focused on the show. Um, I just put all my energy on that, try to make the best of it, and try to hit up the mics before to just try everything out, make sure that my 10 minutes that I did on Saturday was the tightest and the best that it could be. Um, I wasn't able to hit up all the mics as many mics as I wanted to this week, so I was a little nervous about that. There was a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to kind of like flesh out, try out completely before Saturday's show. But overall, I feel like I had a very strong set. It felt very good. The comics all said that they liked my set on Saturday, and then even strangers when I was meeting strangers on the way out after the show, everybody said they had a good time. Um, so that was great. It means a lot that people dig what I do because I'm having fun with it. I have a lot of fun with it. But it's great when other people notice that you have fun with it, and then they have fun with it as well. They have fun watching you do your thing. So that's a lot of fun. Um, so yeah, it's great stuff. Can't wait to do the next show. I don't know if well, I guess I could talk about it. We were doing a competition for this show. The most people that brought out the most sold the most amount of tickets won spots because Irma Linda Reese, she runs the show that's out at Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino. She does like a monthly show there, and so she was offering, the top people that win or that sell the most tickets get spots up there and Lucky at Kickapoo uh, during their monthly shows. So Lacey Lanford and Andy Shields, I believe, got sets up there, which is great. It's a great opportunity. Good for them, and hopefully I'll be part of more shows that Mind Twist Comedy does. Um, because those it was a lot of fun. Irma Reese is doing great things for the local scene with her Mind Twist Comedy. Her shows that she puts on with that, whether it be at Las Saladas or at, she also runs the Elbow Room open mic that's on Tuesday. That one's out at Parent Vital. And I believe they're starting to do a showcase out there, like a Thursday night showcase out there at Elbow Room. I'm not 100% sure of the day, but I know that they're doing um, a showcase show out there at the Elbow Room, where they usually have the open mic on Tuesday nights there. Uh, but to stay in the know of what they got going on, everything like Mind Twist Comedy has going on, go to their website, mindtwistcomedy.com, or you can follow them on social media, Mind Twist Comedy. So yeah, stay in the know of that. And so yeah, now I'm just gotta keep working on my set, keep hitting these open mics, and try to get on my next show. Put my name out there. I really need to put like a little comedy reel together to help promote myself or to kind of introduce myself to these clubs. Whenever they're booking shows, so they know who I am, rather than just seeing me at the open mics. Like I could send them an email with the comedy reel that I have. Um, and so yeah, we can try to get booked on more shows. It would be nice if I stayed busy with that rather than doing like one show a month. Try to do a show maybe every weekend. Try to get on a show. That's what my goal is now. Um, so yeah, besides working on this podcast and trying to expand the podcast and help the people that come on the podcast, that's one main focus, and then the other focus is trying to get on more comedy shows, trying to be a part of more comedy shows. Um, I know I want to go out to Austin for those open mics, try to meet up with some people out there, and maybe even try to do Houston and Dallas. Um, Try to maybe book some shows out there. I know I have some buddies that do shows in Corpus, um, so maybe I might just try to hit up different places around Texas. Just short drives. They're all fairly short drives. Um, but uh, but yeah, but in order to get on these shows, you need to put together like an EPK. Same thing with music. It's the same. It's the same way how bands would try to book like a tour. They would send bookers like their EPK, which is their press kit, their electronic press kit, and then tell them the dates that they're available, and then they would be booked. And so obviously, comedy is a lot like music, how bands get booked at different shows, at different clubs. Comedy is sort of the same thing. Um, so yeah, you got to get that all that together and put all that out there. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. I just wanted to go over, let y'all know about the two shows. I mean, the next thing that I'm doing with the BarbacoaCore podcast will be that return to the Metal Capital at the UTSA Institute of Texan Cultures. That's June 29th at 1 p.m. Tickets are available online. And what this is, it's a celebration of the San Antonio 80s music scene. So that's going to be great. And then I just want to talk a little bit about the show that I did this past weekend at Las Chiladas. It was fun. It was great. Thank you if to everybody that came out to that. And if you're a new fan now of my comedy and of this podcast, thank you for supporting that. I appreciate you doing that. And so yeah, like, subscribe, share on all the platforms to help push and promote this podcast. Um, Leave a review on iTunes. You'll be helping me out. I do appreciate that. If you do follow my personal Facebook page or my personal Instagram page, vote on the shirt that you like, so I can be pressing out those shirts. I'm gonna pick like the top two that people are interested in, or people would possibly purchase, and then I'll get those pressed. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be another way to push and promote this podcast. Not only the podcast, but myself as well. So trying to get on that. Uh, so yeah, leave your vote on my Facebook page or the Instagram page. There's 4 different options, so you can pick A, B, C, or D, and the top 2 will be selected and pressed for the new BarbacoaCore Podcast T-shirts. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and then I'll see y'all next week. All right, bye.